Hello everybody, we're live and direct on the 28th of September 2015, and this is yet another SUMO community meeting on Monday, and I have the absolute pleasure to welcome everybody in the chat and in the room, well, I think I can just say that I'm still in Spain, just for those wondering after yesterday's elections in Catalonia, this is still Spain, for at least another 18 months.
Separation? Separatist victory?
Yeah, like the pro-separatist parties have gotten a joint majority, but we'll see how this all plays out in the next 18 months or so.
Wow.
Exciting times. Okay, I pasted Philip, thank you very much, Philip. Philip pasted the Etherpad into the channel, so I think we're ready to go. And as usual, please add your name and profile link if you are in the participants list. You can also do it after the meeting, no rush to do it right now. We don't seem to have any action items or roundtable items, but this is kind of a tradition by now. If you have anything super duper important and you want to announce it right now before we start getting into the details of the whole long agenda, this is your minute more or less, of time to get into it. So if anybody's interested, raise your voice. Okay, I assume that means that we can go on with the agenda. We don't seem to have any contributors of the week, so that means we can skip on straight to the SUMO development update. And if you want to sneak in a contributor of the week, you have around a minute or two, while Kadir tells us more about the SUMO development updates. Kadir.
All right, SUMO development update. We are finally done with the body of work for Elton. Took us a lot of time with a lot of regressions in there, but it's finally done. We have our lead developer back, Mike, is back this week, and we are going to finish the work on the Ask a Question flow, and then we are finally going to have time to work on 25% items again. I'm going to that today and tomorrow, and making sure that the 25% items from the Champions backlogs are on that list. If you have anything that is a high priority and that cannot wait, please let me know about that so we can prioritize that. But other than that, it's going to be business as usual, starting from this week on with the 25% items.
Okay, any question for Kadir? Thank you very much, Kadir.
Kadir, I think I noticed an ask a question bug on mobile, which has probably been there since day one that I've missed. So I will double check that actually exists, and if so, I will file a bug and put it on my backlog.
Thank you. Roland, that's not the icons issue, right?
No, this is something slightly higher priority. Icons is domestic. It is low priority, yeah. This is a different one, which it might be something I missed since day one.
All right, thank you for filing that, Roland. And feel free to ping me if you want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, just a quick shout out to Belut and Biraj who are joining us as well as viewers. Hello, gentlemen. And we are moving over to Mark with some super important updates. I see the word Farmville there, so I think millions of people are eagerly anticipating this piece of news.
There's, with the latest version of Flash Player, there's been a lot of hanging and crashing, and there's maybe also been some hanging in Firefox with version 41 that is not related to Flash Player, although we are not sure if that is the case yet. Right now, on the support forums at least, it seems like all the instances of hanging, well, the increase in instances of reports of hanging and crashing is with people with the latest version of Flash Player 19 installed. Upon looking more into this, it looks like the issue is happening on other browsers as well, specifically Chrome. So I don't think that it's just a Firefox issue. But if we can find a way to consistently reduplicate it, then we may be able to help Adobe fix this issue, because We think that right now we think that it is an Adobe issue. So I've been reading as many support forum cases as I could about this, and so far it seems like everybody has a different website or a different thing that consistently crashes it for them, but when I try to go to those things, it doesn't crash for me. I did play Farmville for a while on Friday, and it crashed multiple times, so I was able to reduplicate it just by playing Farmville for like 20 minutes, but that's not something that developers are going to want to do to reproduce a crash, to play the game for 20 minutes or so every time they need to get it to crash. So if you find a better way to reproduce it, post on the forum thread, on the contributor forums, and or if you find evidence that there's another type of hang that's being caused by 41 that wasn't in 40, then please bring it up on that thread on the contributor forum so that we can help fix this. Just to give this kind of give you an idea of how widespread this issue is. In the last 90 days, a quarter of the reports of hanging in input have been for Firefox 41, which came out less than a week ago. So, that's how. So we've gotten as many reports, more reports from Firefox 41 of hanging than we did in all of 40 when it was out.
That's not good.
In just the past 6 days. So if you see something, say something, and hopefully we can get this fixed. Thanks.
Okay, any questions or comments for Mark? Oh, okay. I just had a general question about strategy in Farmville, but if you played only 20 minutes and it crashed, that's probably not, you're not the best person to ask, so I'm going to look on Wikipedia. There's probably an article for that. I hear
unleash the bots and genetic programming. Try every possible strategy.
Roland, you have to try Farmville. There's nothing about genetic programming there. You can just
No,
go
I mean, to play the bot, to play Farmville, you have a genetic program bot. Anyway.
Fair enough. Okay, so yeah, general increase in hanging. Not good news, but then again, we're probably going to figure it out, which is great news. Firefox OS, Joni, you have news for Madalina, I think.
Well, it's for everyone in the Romanian community. So we now have Firefox OS in Romania. It's the first launch, so congratulations. And thank you for localizing all those articles. The version is 2.0, and I believe, I don't want to say what the device is because I'm not exactly sure, and I don't want to give wrong information. But if you see any news, if you know how it's going, please do share with us because we're really excited to know. And yeah, that's it for Firefox OS.
Okay, thank you very much, Joni. Any questions about that? Madalina, I don't know, like, do you have any observations? Have you followed the local Romanian news by any chance? Was it like in the news anywhere? Just curious.
I was looking for it. It was very hard to find any information about it. So I don't know exactly when we launched it, but I guess it's just like super recent. But I'll keep following and see what's going on. I did find the device on the Orange website, and it already has a review, so that's good. But actually looking at it.
Okay, cool.
But right now our news is more preoccupied with politics, so yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, onwards to Roland Double Bill, Firefox Android, and iOS.
Well, yes. If you were alive in the 80s, there was a Duran Duran song called New Moon on Monday. It's a horrible song. We have better ones. But yes, we will have a dot release, I believe. This is for Firefox for Android 41 today or tomorrow, I hope. Fingers crossed. For bugs. And some of them are actually crashes. And I think we shared some of the desktop bugs Mark was discussing about a general increase in hanging as well and crashing. But we will fix it. And we are starting the Firefox 42 documents, which is the big release for the November campaign. And that's it. Firefox for iOS, we are still on hold, gathering feedback from Canada. I always put Canada first, no, just kidding. Australia, Austria, Canada, and New Zealand. When we get that feedback and evaluate it, we will, that's with me and Rob and you know, Apple App Store reviews. We will decide on how we're going to proceed with deploying to the other countries of the world. think we're trying to do a global launch this year. However, nothing has been decided. Any questions on Firefox or iOS or Android?
I have a quick question. So are we still English only for Canada?
Yes, we are still English only for Canada. Apparently, Apple has been swamped with iOS 9 app approvals, and now this Force Touch. People have submitted their apps for Force Touch. The queue is quite long, or 3D Touch, or whatever Apple calls their ridiculous new feature. So the queue is quite long for approval, so we were caught up in the long queue. That's the only explanation. Because our 1.0 was approved so English only, and English and German only, was approved so quickly that we kind of assumed that our bug fix release with French, for French Canada, would be approved quickly too, and it hasn't been. So I'm assuming that will happen this week, which might be a big assumption. So yes, je suis désolé, Canadien français, but we still don't have it in French for you on the App Store. That's it.
Okay, no additional questions?
And if anybody wants an 80s theme song for Firefox, Android, and iOS, maybe I can think of one for our all-hands meeting in Orlando. Karaoke with Goofy.
I was actually looking up the Duran Duran song, and the video is just terrible. It starts with
Yeah,
this
they're
person
all
shouting in
those videos
French.
of Duran Duran are sexist and terrible. Like Hungry Like the Wolf, sexist. Good
And
song.
they're super 80s. Like this is like the epitome of 80s. Like, well,
And the
anyway,
one
let's
where
get out
they're
of the
sailing on
nightmare
the boat.
zone.
Yeah.
Let's forget about
Songs
the
were good.
nightmarish
The
80s.
videos were appalling.
Yep. Let's move on to Thunderbird updates, which we're skipping until we get somebody from the Thunderbird community jumping in. Hopefully we're going to organize that soon. And general community updates. Just one community update there. We had an update last week of the SUMO event kit page late last week. So take a look at the new page. There's some resources you can use. It's going to be expanded. For now, the majority of the resources are in English. However, there's some sections where you can download editable stuff, or you can actually just take whatever is in there and make it into your own language if you so desire. And we're going to be slowly adding things there. There has been recently, I only learned about it today, there has been recently a rollout of a business card kind of a service through Moo, thanks to Tad, one of our super contributors, and he is going to hopefully help us roll out SUMO business cards as well. So we're going to figure out how to incorporate that into the service that they have right now.
Tad did that?
Yes.
Okay, we need to talk about that, you and I.
That's a very recent development, so I only messaged him earlier today about that, so I haven't heard from him back yet. But yeah, there's going to be more stuff around promotional materials and whatnot. There is a thread in the forums linked from the Etherpad where you can voice your opinion, give us ideas, and whatnot. So yeah, that's about it. Knowledge base, Joni. Unless, sorry, unless somebody has questions about this. I keep forgetting about that. No questions, so we're moving on.
So we are going to have a general, we're going to do a creative bug for SUMO logo, right, in 2016, because it takes them a while. And then we'll use that as a component of our swag going forward, right?
Yep.
Okay. And so this is what Tad, we can use Tad, Jan Bambach, and all the other volunteers, yourself, Mikhail, who all worked on.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've finished several academies for applied arts and sciences. Sure, I can draw like crazy. You wouldn't believe.
Believe me, my Las Vegas lounge singing is, better than my swag designing.
We'll definitely figure it out. But yeah. Okay, but now without further ado, we're going over to Joni and the knowledge base updates.
Yeah. So we've started revising articles for version 42. However, we have to hold off on the tracking protection articles until the week of October 12th. That's when engineering and product teams are going to finalize the features, and we also need to coordinate the description with legal. So just bear with us and expect to see some revisions to those articles that week. Also, we have an outreachy internship available if you want to help, if you want to work on helping train KB contributors. I pasted a link to the wiki page here, and I believe they're going to announce it at the project meeting today. So look out for more details there.
We have an intern, or we're recruiting one?
We're recruiting an intern for
KB.
the outreach program.
And they could be anywhere in the world, including Canada, Romania, and Spain, and Poland, right?
It is remote. It is full-time. And you have to be able to join us in Orlando in December.
Geez, that's tough. Sorry. Rainy Vancouver, sunny Orlando.
Okay, any other questions or comments about this? Gone. Okay, time for an Elton update. Two quick items for heads up. Just so that you remember that there's two events coming up. There's a Hindi community meetup in India. It's around Elton, and it's generally kind of a major Elton event. I hope to get some SUMO persons in there as well. But other than that, it's simply going to be connected to the launch campaign in autumn for Firefox. So that's going to be one event. The other one is an event in Sri Lanka, which is an right-to-left Elton hackathon. And again, it's generally a global, or it's a local gathering, but for the global issue of RTL in general. So right-to-left content, right-to-left interfaces, right-to-left web design, and so on. Anything around RTL is going to be discussed. Again, I hope to get some SUMO persons in there as well, but if you are in the area, and I bet some of you are, take a look at the pages linked there, and these two events are going to be happening fairly soon. The other thing is, I still have to discuss it with Roland and with Madalena, but I'm planning to roll out a few new badges for localizers, so there's actually a bit more flavor and variety to the badges we have, and there's hopefully going to be more coming up as well. I just have to make a list of the badges that would be interesting to have and match them to what I have been hearing for feedback from the local leaders and general Elton community for SUMO. So for now, the idea is to simply add a few stars, just a very simple cosmetic update in a way, to the three badges. Right now, of course, the general badge is for 2015 that you have 10 approved translations, KB edits in your locale or locale of your choice, and you get the badge. There's going to be additional levels for that. So for 30, 50, and 70, although these numbers are just placeholders, they could change. Anything can change with this, including the graphics. So I will definitely keep informing you. There is a thread in the forums for those who are not able to jump in here right now and comment on this, but would like to comment. There is a special thread in the forum for that. And as I said, there's going to be more badges. And I think if you hit 100 approved translation edits, for 2015, for example, your wizard will have one additional level and you will get an epic mount or something like this. That's only for the World of Warcraft players, but generally, yes, you can count on amazing bonuses and great things happening. Any questions about this?
I just want to say that this is awesome. The way the software works now is, I believe that SUMO Dev would have to write a little bit of software. However, I don't think it's hard because we already have the code that does it for 10. So just adding 3 if statements. But of course, that's me unencumbered by code knowledge. Kadir could probably chime in, and of course, Mithmon when we call above. But the badges we can input right now, and then we can schedule for a sprint. And I would also urge people to, when we're looking at designing our badges, look at the military and the Knights of the Round Table. Because heraldry and military badging and Boy Scout badging is something we can learn from. Anyways, here.
Definitely a good idea. I was already thinking about assigning people names like Lancelot and Galahad, but that would be
sexist. No, we need to find some gender neutral.
The defender of the realm. But,
I'm the defender of diversity.
Fair enough. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Roland, for that. And we're moving over to the support form updates. Madalena.
Okay, you don't have any comment? I guess we have to
right,
look about some things about possible support. Sorry, Kitsune software development for this.
We talked about this with Mihal last week already. I think it's a pretty good idea.
Excellent. I just thought so. I thought that you would have talked to him, but you never know. Cool.
All right, so hello everybody. A few updates from my side. So last week we had a new SUMO day, which went pretty well. So I want to thank everybody who joined us and participated in answering questions. We had around 45 people who helped on the forums across the board, with 32 especially for Firefox, 5 for Firefox for Android, and 2 for Firefox for iOS. 2 people, not too bad. So we're doing really well on the Firefox forum, with 93% answered in 24 hours and 96% answered in 72 hours. So well done there. But we need to show some more love to Firefox for Android, where we didn't do that well. Only 37% answered in the first 24 hours, and then I think 87 in 72 hours. So we did catch up on that one. But yeah, it was a bit tough in the beginning, and there were only 8 questions. So maybe next time we can also focus on Android as well. And yeah, that's about it. Again, thank you to everyone who was involved and participated, and they were on IRC and had fun and answered questions. And I hope to see you again next time for the next SUMO day, or otherwise every day on the forums, keeping it going. Loads of things to do. And that's it from me.
Okay, thank you, Madalena. Do we have any questions or comments for Madalena? I'm taking a quick look at the channel just to make sure that nobody has been skipped there. Okay, so I think for now we can move over to the last minute update and or comments for the whole meeting if anybody has anything to add or has suddenly realized that there's something really cool that we forgot about. Other than that, remember we have a blog, remember we have a Twitter account that has over 500 something followers now, which is really cool. We're going to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, I think, without spamming anybody. This is all people who actually started following us on their own will, so that's really, really, really good. Greetings to our followers. Yeah. And yeah, if nobody has any other comments or anything else to add or say, then I think we can call this meeting ready, done, and completed. So we'll see you around. It's going to be another busy week for everybody. Take care. Talk to you soon. See you around, and adieu for now.
Adieu, adieu.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.